That's what it is. And anything else you want to say to the fans?
I just want everybody to tune in Saturday night and put on a great show and a great performance, regardless of who I fight. And shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, man. They're my people, man. They're good people.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, look like there's some good news for Kell Brook and not the best news for Errol Spence. It was just recently reported that the IBF has decided to order another title eliminator bout. Errol Spence is rated number 2, and now they want him to fight against number 3 contender Konstantin Panomarev. Now, Konstantin Panomarev, he just actually beat the former undefeated Brad Solomon on the Manny Pacquiao versus Bradley undercard. Pretty decent fighter, aggressive fighter. He looks pretty good. He's trained by Abel Sanchez, and he's undefeated. He has a record of 30-0 and 13 knockouts. Now, coincidentally, that is the exact same record that Kell Brook holds as well. Now, you know, when it comes to Abel Sanchez, since he's the one that's going to be training Panomarev, things are not looking good for Abel Sanchez right now because he just put his undefeated Cuban fighter in the ring with Andre Ward, and we've seen how that played out. Earlier on in the year, I forget the name of his fighter, but another one of his fighters, a good fighter by the way, what was it? Man, I just had the name. It was a Russian guy. Was it Ustinov? It was one of them Russian guys, but he lost to Rancis Barthélemy earlier on, okay? And now here he is putting another one of his undefeated fighters in the ring with who? Errol Spence. So, yeah, outside of Gennady Golovkin, things are not looking good for Abel Sanchez when it comes to the roster that he has. And, you know, once again, I believe this is the mark of a great trainer. Dealing with adversity, finding ways to win when plan A is not working, when plan B is not working. Find a different way to win, right? So we'll see what happens in that situation. But yeah, you know, when it comes to this eliminator situation, this final eliminator to fight for Kell Brook's belt, I really don't have a problem with it. I really don't have a problem with us getting another eliminator bout, you know, and it of course gives Kell Brook some time to breathe and think about the fact that this big ass lion is coming. Them walls were closing in, but they just started to close in a little slower now. All right, so now once again, Kell Brook, he has more time to assess the situation and think about what he really wants to do. Okay, so that's pretty much all I got. I look forward to seeing this eliminator bout. It should be fireworks because Panomarev is a very aggressive fighter, and we already know what Errol Spence is about. So I see another vicious knockout in that fight, and you know, if Errol Spence goes from knocking out Chris Algieri, who had never been knocked out before, if he goes from doing that to then knocking out an undefeated fighter, the number 3 contender in the IBF rankings, trained by Abel Sanchez, that would be another good look for Errol Spence. So I look forward to seeing this fight get announced. You know, another good question is, will Konstantin and Abel Sanchez even take the fight? Because it could be a possibility that they could be saying, you know what, I want the title, but having to fight Errol Spence, it's not even worth fighting for the title. You feel me? That is a very good possibility because I'm telling you right now, the victory that Errol Spence had over Chris Algieri, that performance is giving welterweights nightmares. I'm telling you that right now. I am telling you that right now. So it wouldn't surprise me if Konstantin just pulls out of the eliminator, period, and Errol Spence has to fight someone else on the list. It wouldn't be the first time, because that's happened a couple times before. Guys were forced to fight in eliminators, and they decided to opt out and, you know, fight a safer opponent. So We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. And that's all I got. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.